Now, in this unit, we want to look at unit and conversion. Conversion is very, very important in physics. In fact, is one of the most important thing. If in fact, a lot of accidents and a lot of things worth billions of dollars have actually been destroyed as a result of wrong conversion and faulty instruments. But that's not where we are going. We want to look at unit and conversion. Now, we talked about length in the past, and we say that the unit of length is meter. Yeah, that's the standard unit of length. That is the SI unit of length. That's the standard unit of length. But we also have some other subunits of length apart from the meter. So, but at this stage, we are going to be looking at some other subunits. Just, I think, 2 or 3 subunits, such as the centimeter. Centimeter is also a unit of length. Then, millimeter. Millimeter is also a unit of length. And 3, kilometer is also a unit of length. But the important unit of length is the meter. That's the SI. In fact, at this junction, any exam you do, you must change it to, you must convert to meter. Now, centimeter, that is, the short form is CM. Now, what does centimeter means? Centi means 10 raised to power minus 2 meter. So it means that 1 centimeter is the same thing as 10 raised to power minus 2 meter. Now, what of millimeter? Milli, that's mm. That's 10 raised to power minus 3 meter. It means 1 millimeter is the same thing as 10 raised to power minus 3 meter. Then kilometer, that's km. Kilometer is what? Is the same thing as 10 raised to power 3 meter. That is, 1 kilometer is the same thing as 1,000. 1 kilometer is the same thing as 1,000 meter. Now, what do we want to achieve from all this? Now, let's just see, look at the question. Convert 500 kilometer to meter. Now, how do we go about this? Now, what we just need to do at this point is to do what? We know that 1 kilometer is the same thing as what? 1,000 meter. That is 10 raised to power 3 meter. Now, what is now 500 kilometer? 500 kilometer now will be what? 1,000 meter over 1 kilometer times 500 kilometer. You see this cancel this. So 500 times 1,000, that is 500,000 meter. That is how you convert that. Now let's look at another question on that. Convert, let's say, let's just say like 3 millimeter to meter. How do we convert 3 millimeter to meter? Now, what we can do for this is this. We already know that 1 millimeter, we know 1 millimeter, we know that 10 raised to power minus 3 millimeter is the same thing as what? 1 meter. Yes, that's that. Yeah, millimeter, 10 raised to power minus 3 meter. So we know that 10 raised to power minus 3 meter is millimeter is 1 meter. So it means that 3 millimeter now will be what? 1 meter over 10 raised to power minus 3 millimeter times 3 millimeter. If this cancels this, so we are left with the meter. So that's what's 1 over 10 raised to power 1 over 10 raised to power minus 3 is the same thing as what? Is the same thing as 10 raised to power 3 times what? Times, no, 1 over 10 raised to power minus 3, that will be 1 divided by 10 raised to power minus 3, and that is 1 times 1 over 10 raised to power 3, and that is 1 over 10 raised to power 3. Mind you, you have 3 already, times what's 3, and that is 3 over 10 raised to power 3. And what's that? That is 3 times 10 raised to power minus 3 meter. So it means 3 millimeter to meter will be 3 times 10 raised to power minus 3 meter. On and on like that. For all we just need to know is the conversion. 1 centimeter is the same thing as 10 raised to power minus 2 meter. 1 millimeter, 10 raised power minus 3 meter, and then 1 kilometer is the same thing as 10 raised power 3 meter. Now let's move on still on this. The same thing also applies to many other things. For example, kilogram. Look at mass. The basic unit of mass is kilogram. But we have some subunits of mass. We have gram. This is the standard unit of mass, kilogram. But we have subunits of mass such as gram and what? We also have milligram. But mind you, kilogram is telling you something. 1 kilogram is this, what does that mean? It means 10 raised power minus 10 raised power 3 gram. That's 1 kilogram. All right. And what is 1 milligram? 1 milligram. Milli, you remember from millimeter. That is 10 raised power minus 3 gram. That's 1 milligram. Now, let's say for example, we want to convert, let's say 300 milligram to kilogram. How do we convert 300 milligram to kilogram? The problem about mass is that the way mass is patterned, you will tend to think that gram is the SI unit of mass, but it is kilogram. So before we can convert 300 milligram to kilogram, we first need to convert 300 milligram to gram. Now, we know that 1 milligram is 10 raised power minus 3 gram, right? Now, what is now 300 milligram? That will be 10 raised power minus 3 gram over 1 milligram times 300 milligram over 1. Now, 300 milligram cancel milligram. So you are left with what? 300 times 10 raised power minus 3 gram. Now, we have converted to gram. Now, we will now convert from gram to kilogram. Now, we know that 1 kilogram is the same thing as what? 10 raised power minus 3, 10 raised power 3 gram. That's 1 kilogram. So what does that mean? It means that 10 raised power 3 gram is the same thing as 1 kilogram. So now, 300 times 10 raised power minus 3 gram will now be 1 kilogram over 10 raised power 3 gram, then times 300 times 10 raised power minus 3 gram. Now, gram, this cancels this. So now, 10 raised power minus 10 raised power 3. So 300 now, this will become 300 times 10 raised power minus 3 kilogram over 10 raised power 3. Now, what do we do about this now? Now, 10 raised power 3 means what? It means 300 times 10 raised power minus 3 kilogram over 1000. And this cancels this cancels this. That's 3 over 10. And what's 3 over 10? That's 0.3. So that's 0.3 times 10 raised power minus 3 kilogram. So that's the conversion of kilogram. Now let's quickly look at volume and area before we finish this part. Volume and area. Now, for example, when we say volume, when we say area, what does area mean? We already know that area is what? Length times breadth. But I need to tell you something. Breadth is also length anyway at this junction. In physics, anything that has sides has to do with length. So it means the breadth is also the same thing as the length. So it means we can write area as length times length, which is L square. And you know length is a meter. It means the unit of area will be meter square. Now, very good. Now, let's say, for example, you have 300 centimeters square. We want to convert it to meter square. How do we convert 300 centimeters square to meter square? The first thing we need to do is this. Now, how many centimeters make 1 meter? We know that 10 raised to the power minus 2 centimeters is what? Is 1 meter. So 10 raised to the power minus 2 centimeters is 1 meter. So now, Now this is still length. This is still length conversion, but we are talking of area here. Now, how do we now convert 10 raised to power minus 2 centimeter to area? That's the first thing we are going to do. Now, so it means this will be 10 raised to power minus 2 times what? Times 10 raised to power minus 2 centimeter square equals to 1 meter square. And this will be what? 10 raised to power minus 4 centimeter square equals to 1 meter square. So this is area conversion now. Now 10 raised to power minus 4 centimeter square is the same thing as 1 meter square. Now, what is now 300 centimeter square? 300 centimeter square now will be 1 meter square over 10 raised to power minus 4 centimeter square times 300 centimeter square. This cancels this. So what do we do? 300 times 1, 300. So this is 300 over 10 raised to power minus 4, which is the same thing as 300 divided by 10 raised to power minus 4. That will be times 1. Sorry. So this will be what? 300, yeah, divided by 10 raised to power minus 4, and that is 300 times 1 over 10 raised to power minus 4. And 1 over 10 raised to power minus 4 is the same thing as 10 raised to power 4. So that would be 300 times 10 raised to power 4 meter. Is it meter? Meter square. Now, let's talk about volume. Now, how do we do volume conversion? It's the same approach. When we are talking of, when we are talking of volume is length times breadth times height. Now, when we are saying length, I've told you that breadth is the same thing as length. Height also is length. So we can write volume as length times length times length. That is L cube. Now, let's say we want to convert 300 centimeter cube, or better still, let me say 300 meter cube to centimeter cube. How do we do that? Yeah, of course, we know that 10 raised to power minus 3, 10 raised to power centi, that's 10 raised to power 2, 10 raised to power minus 2, 10 raised to power minus 2 centimeter is the same thing as what? 1 meter. Now, since it is meter we want to convert to centimeter, that it means 1 meter is the same thing as 10 raised to power minus 2 centimeter. So, now, this is still length conversion. We have to change it to volume conversion. So, that will be 1 meter raised to power 3, that is 1 times 1 times 1 equals to what? 10 raised to power minus 2 centimeter raised to power 3. This is still 1 meter cube now. It will be what? 10 raised to power 2 times 2, 4, that's minus, 2 times 3, 6, minus 6 centimeter cube. Now, we have done volume conversion. Now, 1 meter cube is 10 raised to power minus 6 centimeter cube. Now, what of 300 meter cube? 300 meter cube now will be 10 raised to power minus 6 centimeter cube over 1 meter cube times 300 meter cube. Now, meter cube cancel meter cube. So that is 300 times 10 raised to power minus 6 centimeter cube. We have successfully done volume conversion, and on and on and on and on like that. So that is how it goes. So